Economic systems. Every society has an economic system in which people make and distribute goods and services. There are four basic economic systems: a traditional, market, command, and mixed. The roles of individuals, people, consumers, businesses, companies, and government vary in each system. Economic goals, incentives, and government regulation can also vary how much control the government has. In a traditional economy is an economy in which people make economic decisions based on their customs and their habits. They usually satisfy their needs and wants through hunting or farming, as their ancestors did. People in traditional economies usually do not want to change their basic way of life. Today, traditional economies are not very common. There are a few in remote places like tribes in the Amazon, and they're usually groups of people that live off of the land and sustain themselves. Market economies. A market economy is an economy in which individual consumers and producers make economic decisions, what to buy and sell. This type of economy is also called capitalism. The United States has capitalism, or a free market. Market economies encourage entrepreneurs to establish new businesses by giving them economic freedom. And in true capitalism, you have very little government control. And it's the companies are making decisions and may have a lot of power if they gain a lot of wealth. And the market would be supply and demand, which would drive price. And it could drive it very high if a lot of people need goods, if it's a time when a lot of people need goods. So usually we don't have a true capitalism because we want our government to help protect people from big companies becoming too powerful. Command economy is the third type of economy. A command economy is an economy in which the central government makes all economic decisions. This kind of system is also called a centrally planned economy. In a command economy, individual consumers and producers do not make basic economic decisions. This is what communism was supposed to be, an economic system. But it has also turned into a political party and a political movement where governments have absolute control. But it was originally the idea of the government making the economic decisions for the good of the people. Unfortunately, humans are flawed and there's greed, and the governments that are communism don't always make the best decisions for the people. But it was supposed to be the government making sure there's equal distribution to all citizens in their country. That was the idea of a command economy. Mixed economies. Most of our countries have mixed economies. In reality, pure market or command economies do not exist. Most societies have mixed economies with varying levels of government control. A mixed economy is an economy that combines elements of traditional market, so you have supply and demand, and businesses, entrepreneurs, and command economic systems. You want the government to regulate some things so that like the electric company can't just charge outrageous prices. The diagram at the left shows the circular flow of an economic activity in a mixed economy. Countries such as the United States and Australia have mixed economies. Most would say the United States is capitalism because we have less government control. And most think of mixed economies as socialism, which happens in Canada and in Europe, where there's free college, using tax money to pay colleges. Free services, basic needs like healthcare are provided through your tax money. You don't have to pay to go to the doctor because you've already paid your taxes. In ours, in a market economy, healthcare is another business where they make a profit. In the United States, prescriptions are really expensive and companies make big profits off of those prescription medicines that people need because they're sick or they're born a certain way, like they're diabetics that need insulin. In a mixed economy, in many mixed economies in Europe and in Canada, that healthcare, those prescriptions are very affordable. For example, government passes laws to protect consumers' rights. So the government's there to act as a protector between the money and power in businesses, big companies like Amazon, to make sure that the wealth is kind of shared between all of the citizens. They have more of a balance in true mixed economies in socialism. For example, government spending and taxation provide jobs and services and influence economic growth. Countries such as North Korea and Cuba have mixed economies that are close to pure command economies. They're called communism. In these countries, government owns and controls most businesses. People aren't allowed to just open their own businesses. So economic systems usually aren't pure. You have a mix in it, and they have to interact. It's often with whatever type of government that you have is going to affect how much of your government is a command economy and how much is a market and how much is mixed in the middle.